I had a conversation with the man that used to run your company. Here, he's running Do. He said the biggest issue for telecoms operators is the difficulty in monetizing the upsurge in data usage and line usage at home. Are you having difficulty taking advantage of the surges that you're seeing across the business, first of all?
Thank you and good morning. Yeah, well, that is exactly what we have been focusing on the last 9 months and also before that. And this is actually a good quarter because we grow our mobile business with 1% and we grow our fixed business with 3%, and that's the third consecutive quarter with growth. So we have started to be more commercialized in our way of driving our business, thinking about how to utilize our networks and being a little bit closer to the customer, which makes our offering more relevant. And it's maybe a little bit tough in these times to be too positive around all the negatives in the world, but we are having the first quarter in several years where we are flat on revenue on group, and that is despite the decline in copper that we still have of around 1 billion every year. And in addition to that, we have the first time in many years where we have mobile growth in Sweden, which is our biggest market. And that comes from the combination of extremely good networks, the more sort of surgically detailed offerings we go out with to families, elderly, etc. And I'm super happy about it. And that's why we actually taking off the TV media, which we knew could have an impact from the economic downturn, is doing well.
Christian, I don't at all want to burst the bubble of your happiness, but I do have to ask about the potential effects on the rest of the year and beyond, potentially, of coronavirus. You did give an update in late March. I believe you said then that pandemic-related effects will result in a 1 to 1.5 billion Swedish krona EBITDA drop year on year in the media business. Can you give us any kind of update on the outlook for the rest of the year as a result of the pandemic?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, our TV media, even though it has strengthened its market share during this period, it is definitely affected by the sports and the advertising downturn. And that is 1 million to 1.5 billion that comes through. On the rest, we have said in total we're not going to give a guidance on the EBITDA, but we feel so safe and okay with the situation, so we continue to guide on the cash flow. On the cash flow, we have lowered 1 billion from 10.5 to 11.5 to now 9.5 to 10.5 guidance for this year, which is above our dividend rate that we have right now. So yes, it's very difficult to guide because roaming, we will have the economic downturn, we will have the TV rights sales through distribution that will impact. But we will also mitigate, and we will work hard doing what we are best at right now with the best networks to monitor this and handle this. So cash flow, fine. EBITDA, too uncertain to give a guidance on.
That kind of view, Christian, then let's take it to the dividend. You cut the dividend to 1.8 from 2.4. You will have, as I understand it, an EGM in the autumn to decide on the potential additional dividend. But with the guidance that you've just given us and with the robustness with which you say the company is in, when will that dividend be restored? When will that be upped? Or is the risk of a further dividend cut? Tie the two together because they don't tie up for me.
Well, we haven't said we will come back with the EGM in the autumn. We said that if things clarify and we still have the stability we had before Corona, we may come back and call for an EGM. So that's not decided. But I think the key message is that right now we have a stability in our core business, and we don't know how fast the Corona will make the advertising market come back, and we will have to just wait and see. But the key message right now is that we have a dividend that we now promise of 7.4 billion, and we have a cash flow guidance for this year of 9.5 to 10.5, and we don't know how the economic outlook will look later on as well, and if we need to save some or be cautious. And for all of us, it's a day-to-day operation to see where it is going, and we'll come back.
Christian, Ericsson said earlier this morning that the pandemic may set back European 5G rollouts. This is the phone industry has been pausing or slowing 5G development. What can you tell us about your spending plans on 5G? Are you postponing them? Are they changed in any way?
Well, that's a good point. One of the main risks we see going forward now in our crisis management is the supply chain and the people wellness, of course, and we monitor those both very carefully. On supply chain, so far we have only seen effects from more expensive transportation. So goods are available, but you have to pay more. And then the question is, do you want to pay more? But I know that in the second phase, Q3, Q4, there will also be component shortage that may affect Ericsson's, Samsung's, and others out there. So far, the rollout that we have, the most obvious one is the rollout we have in Norway, is on plan, and we do that with Ericsson, and we have both agreed that there's no sort of obstacle right now. The Swedish rollout, unfortunately, is delayed because of the license auction in Sweden, and that's not coming through until November. So we'll see if supply chain issues will be handled between then, and then we shouldn't have a problem there as well. So that's how we look at it right now.